Welcome back to the Titanium Hangar. This is Mike coming at you with the weekly news and review for April 27th, 2025. Last news of the month for April, and lots of stuff going on. We've got a really good show for you today, and of course, talk about some Transformers. And we're also going to talk about some Hiya Toys getting the Rocky and my thoughts on that, and I'm kind of excited for it. It's kind of fun. I don't have much Rocky stuff in my collection, and I don't need to add much to my collection definitely at that price point. Then getting into some more of the Holothon stuff going on here, I'll share a little bit of my experience, what I've seen in the stores, and what's coming up, and maybe it's not all for me, but some of it's pretty exciting for some people. And I'm probably not going to get into this story, so I'll just throw it out there real quick. BBTS is putting up a, what they say, a huge sale for 1/12 scale figures right now. Go check it out if you want to. We've already talked about why they're going to need to be putting a lot more stuff on sale in the future. And then we've got the next wave of Super 7 Ultimates Thundercats, and we'll talk a little bit about that, but this week is dominated by Super 7, it seems like. They just put a whole lot of stuff out. It's like they were radio silent a bit for a while, and now Brian's speaking up about a lot of things, and including tariffs. And yeah, he's getting stuff done. So we'll talk about that, including G.I. Joe, by the way, including what they got about G.I. Joe. And then Range Trooper. Oh, okay. This is it for the week, pretty much, for Star Wars news. But I'm going to talk about a few other things. I'm definitely going to talk about Andor. You might get a laugh, you might get offended, I don't know. We'll talk about this some more coming up. As always, starting out with what's new at Show Z Store. This is the New Age H49T, 50T, 55T. As you can see, all the clear versions of these figures. This is a 6-pack. I don't know the price. Generally, when they ship out 2-packs, they're about $45 to $50 per 2-pack. So I would think this should be $150 minus, of course, the combination, because it's all in one box, maybe $125. $130, something along those lines. I did pre-order it, $1 down, and an additional $7.50 shipping cost to the US. Next up, we've got the Jingwang Mao Toy Steel Kitty Party JGM SKPO3 Mini Bruticus is the one in the middle. Set of 5, and then I picked this picture to show because it looked like they've done some other stuff in here with some other characters. Now, these are almost 7 inches tall, and I do not believe they do any transformations. I don't see any other alt modes. Just like this, kind of like Loki's in a way, but 7 inch tall. 6.69, $1 down. This is the Transformers Dreamwave TDW11 Bumblebee movie Optimus Prime with LED lights. $1 down will be $19.60 additional shipping to the US, and it is 18 inches tall. Includes main figure blaster axe and energy blade. Type of battery it needs is a CR927, and for the eyes, an LR44 for the blasters. Yes, it does transform, no price yet, $1 down. Remember, TH in the Spark Review code helps channel out and all that fun stuff. Alright, getting a little bit of Masterpiece news here. We'll start with some X-Transbot stuff that's going on right now. They're showing their waist swivel with their next Constructicon. I want to say this is not a bad looking figure overall. It looks pretty decent, and with that, I'm looking forward to getting my hands on it. Of course, comparing it to what Fans Toys has already done. At this point, it's kind of hard to keep up with who's done what, when, where, how, but yeah, this is probably the next one from X-Transbots, and a lot of people do get upset about that. There's one tiny little piece of plastic holding the top and the bottom halves together, but I haven't broke that piece of plastic on any of mine yet, but I'm super, super careful. But yeah, it's quite an ab crunch. Does break the sculpt a bit. Paragon recolored in the G2 colorations, and I'm not going to go too deep. There's a lot of plethora of pictures on this, but I think it looks really good. And it's one of those things, I don't want to get in on it, but I do want to get in on it. It's a big deal because we never got a G2 Defensor back in the day. But to get into the Masterpiece and get the coloration is kind of fun. So, because we never had it back in the day, I truly don't know what colors are the right colors. People are arguing about which color is correct for each character, and I have no real reference point. I guess I should look into it because it seems to be a hot button these days, but I just think it's kind of fun to see them in all these different colors. because we've seen them in the standard colors for so long, and we've seen so many other things get G2, like Bruticus. Bruticus gets all kinds of different colorations, but yet this one didn't get a G2, at least not in the US. But don't those colors look really interesting? Next up, we got QQT, a 50 centimeter Predaking featuring a molded gear joints for articulation. I'm used to the QQT. They're the ones that made the Ultra Magnus endoskeleton that I've already reviewed. I'm going to be taking a look at, I believe, Monday, their Superion. It's not an endoskeleton. That's just add-on parts so that you can just build your Superion for fans' toys. This seems to be a full-on build. They're just like, hey, you want a Predaking? You want to stand on your shelf and look nice? This is what we're doing. That's what it looks like to me. I don't know if it correlates with any other sets, but if it did, then why are they just printing their own arms? So it wouldn't make any sense if you're just going to use legs from a set. So I'm believing they're just making an entire set themselves. But it's going to be 50 inches, and so 50 centimeters, sorry. 50 centimeters translates over to roughly the 21-inch scale. When you take 50 divided by 2.54, you actually get 69. So it's just right there in that range. I think people would actually look at Predaking needing to be taller than the rest of the bunch, but I mean 20's, that's close enough for me if I was going to get in on it. Fans Hobby showing off what looks to be pretty much close to finished, the ME32 Metal Hawk, and it looks really nice. It's really nice. I understand a little more about this with all of the armor and stuff that it's got going on, and they've done a good job. Seeing it in color, seeing it closer to finish looks really good. It looks like it walked out of some sort of a cartoon, so that really does work out and get the job done. Also, all this does kind of carry over into the alt mode, and the alt mode looks pretty cool too. So it's one of those things. I'm not really connected to the lore, but I can appreciate a good-looking figure any day of the week. And even though I'm not in on it, I'm tempted. I haven't really done any Fans Hobby stuff except for their G.I. Joe Skyhawk, but looks really good. I think they've done a good job with this. And they keep showing us pictures every week. It feels like we've been along for this ride for a while. So I kind of believe these would fit better with Masterpiece than pretty much anything else. Due the size, and how big they are, and how tiny they were in the movies and show. Probably even too big for Masterpiece. Anyway, KGBO Killer Body Movie Rediscovery Project MPO2 Transformers 2007 Frenzy, which I guess this is this Frenzy? Yeah, this is Frenzy. And MRPO3 Revenge of the Fallen Wheelie, and there it is. And how big is it? I can't see that, but looking at the sides, you can tell how big it is by comparing it to kind of a helmet or mask or something back there, a human somewhere in this picture. So to me, it's bigger than even Masterpiece scale. Looks pretty good. It kind of looks like it might even have some metal in it, some die-cast. I don't know too much about it, but it's interesting stuff that's out there. And then this one here is their wheelie. I mean, when I think of wheelie, I don't think of that, but I mean, which one's better, the G1 or this? In your opinion, I don't know. I think they've done a good job of nailing the character the way it should be. If that's the thing that you want to do. Here it is in IRL, in real life, not just a render. And yeah, there it is. Pretty cool. I have no idea price, availability, any of that stuff. It's not out yet, but it was just shown revealed at an event in China. And in other news, we have the Threezero. You knew this was coming. I mean, they already did Sideswipe. Now they're going to be doing Red Alert. And I want to say, since I do have the Sideswipe, the Red Alert's arms are bigger on the forearms because that's pretty much kind of how it's always gone. Usually it's falling off the shoulders. Like the kibble's coming off the shoulder. They put the kibble right on the forearm. Anyhow, it's just how it's done or how they did it. It looks okay. It looks pretty good. It looks bulkier than Sideswipe, but the colors look good on them. I think there's a lot of shared parts here if you're in on this. I don't think I'm going to go the route of getting a whole lot of these. I'll just sample one here, one there to kind of blend in with what I kind of like better in this foray. My preference is actually the YOLO Part AMK Pro Series, but these are not pro. They're not professional. They are just the AMK series. But the big difference is the lack of die-cast, lack of paints, so more bare bones plastic, and more plastic, less die-cast. So that's the difference. I think they look pretty good. I'm going to get the Bumblebee. I'll skip the Prime because I already have the Prime and the Pro. Here's a Tarn, which I'm hearing we're going to be getting a souped up Pro version of Turn down the road. Looks pretty decent overall. Yeah, I mean, this is a good series. I really like this series. I hate to say this, but when it comes to the Starscream, I think Starscream's the best one they've made so far. Starscream's the best. I'm shocked they're not doing all the Seekers, like just put them out in different colors because that's the way to print money. But now this one is going to be in the standard, the AMK line, meaning cheaper. I don't know how much cheaper though. I mean, the Pro ones were $60, and then I just got one of the Transformers 1 versions for $33 or something, but I think they generally hover around $40, so $35, $40, something like that. Curious to see exactly what they're going to be priced. Getting into some Legends news, you know how you got your Sunstreaker not too long ago, and you're enjoying it from New Age at the New Age Sunstreaker and all that? Okay, don't feel bad because I haven't gotten it yet either. But you're getting more pictures, more color variations coming from good old New Age. So one of them is called H69P Vice, and then the other one is H69R Cole. You got a red and a white one coming at you, and I believe it has something to do with Diaclone and all that. I actually don't have all of the details on why these are colored this way, but it's just kind of the recolors they usually do anyway. So yeah, when it comes to Legends, I don't really want to go too crazy with it, but this is kind of the scale and price point that you could go crazy with versus Masterpiece for size, price, and all those kinds of things. So you could fit a nice shelf of all the different color variations of the character if you want to, but I just don't think the alt mode is the greatest in the world, and it doesn't bother me. It doesn't faze me one bit. I love Lamborghinis, but my Sunstreaker is going to be in bot mode, and that's that. My jokes are so bad that when I throw them out there, they can't hit a broadside of a barn. This is Dr. Wu's Workshop Mechanic Studio MS-37 Giant Axe, and it is their take on a broadside. And it has all, 3 modes? He's a triple changer. Here's his back. He's turned his back on you right there. And that does not look too bad. Let me see the main mode. I think this is the main mode people would want, and that is the USS Flag, the hovercraft, the carrier. And see, I never understood this. Like as a kid, I thought, why would you make like a giant carrier and it just be a tiny toy? It makes no sense. But anyway, because it's gonna fly away. Yeah, there's a lot of interesting things, but it's kind of like the helicarrier from Avengers, where the giant floating ship, but no, it's not. It's tiny. Anyways, this is one of the things from back in the day, and they actually made it in a different coloration already. Dr. Wu does it. I don't know if you'd want to call this Legends, but I think that this would fit in a Legends collection. I think this is one of the characters, one of the figures. Would you need your broadside to be as big as a combiner in Legends? Could you be okay with it just being as big as Prime and the rest of them, or a little bit taller than Prime? I think that's where it's going to stand, about size, maybe taller, maybe a little taller, maybe a little shorter than a standard Optimus Prime in your series, but this is another coloration of it. All right, this is Robot Toys coming out with their version of Tigertron, and that's that. It looks pretty good. It looks decent. I have only one version of Tigertron so far, and that's from Hasbro. I don't even have the vintage one. I don't think I picked up the vintage retro one. I did not get the Masterpiece one, which I kind of wished I would have gotten the KO at least. But here we go with this one. I'll probably pick this one. Well, definitely pick this one up. Looks like his eyes are lighting up there. Here's the alt mode, and yeah, it looks all right. Gets the job done. I mean, what do you expect for a Legends scale version figure? And I do believe these to be Legends. So if I'm wrong on that, like, I guess I'll check the Mang Motion video out when it pops out, and then I'll know for sure. All right, we got some pictures of the Craftsman Toys DJS02 Tactical Lord Combiner Set B DJS Motor Razor. Okay, this looks like it's going to be a very good set. Looks quite retro in a way. I've already reviewed one leg to this so far, and there's going to be more coming down the pipeline. This is obviously not all the way done, but let's take a look at it. they got going on here, and this is what they call the DJS02. And I'm wondering, I guess is this going to come as a 2-pack? I'm believing, I guess. Still not 100% sure, but I'm in on it all. I'm gonna review it all 100% and make it happen. I'm excited for it. I just don't see anyone else doing a Computron anytime soon. And then to keep it straight, this is the Legends, and Bango Toys is doing the bigger one, the Masterpiece. Next, we got more Doctor Wu. I should group my Doctor Wus and do all my Wus together here, but this is the Doctor Wu Cyber Crane Cyber Dump Truck War Within Hook and Long Haul, and they're doing their Devastator. I'm at this point, I need a list of all the Devastators I keep talking about because it's hard to keep up with. But they're doing it too. Sub-Legend scale, smaller than Legends. Getting in some Hasbro stuff here, we got Takara Tomy Wild King Wave 1 in hand images, so you can get an idea of size and scale. This is next to the Commander class or a Masterpiece, and you can say, okay, that's how big they are. Am I in on them? Am I not in on them? Me personally, I'm not in on them, but it's a thing. And then we've got this here, and yeah, I start getting lost on all this stuff. So what they're doing is they're making this for the kiddos, basically. And you have a lot of combinations that you can use and do. The one on the left is the new one, I believe. Yeah, is the new one. Built up, and it's just a nice example. I'm not going to go into much more because I don't think that many viewers are into this, but it's just a thing. Next, there's an NFL crossover collaboration first look, official stock images. I still look all the way through like 1,000 words in this press release. No price that I've seen just yet. But anyhow, we have Kansas City Chiefs. We got Dallas Cowboys, Star Blitz. We've got Pittsburgh Steelers, Steel Smash, Green Bay Packers, Tundra Prime. I guess Chiefs are KC-59. Anyhow, they turn it into a helmet, and they are, I think, 5.5 inches tall. So if it's a thing you're into, I bet you we don't know price yet because you're not going to be cheap. Probably not. Also, I've seen people starting to get these HasLabs. I wasn't in on it, so I don't plan on getting one. But I think it looks really good, and I've seen, like, Just Incredible has his. He seems very happy with his so far, messing around with it. I think that it's better than the original one that came around, but the original has a charm, and it was the original idea. But I think they made a lot of improvements to it, and this one does look better than the original. So I think everybody that got it's going to be happy with it, and I think all the people that got it were thinking, well, should I buy an original one for about the same amount of price, or maybe a little more, or get this one that's improved? So I think everyone will be thoroughly satisfied with this, if and when they get it. So we've got something called Zuru, small blind box surprise capsules. So you can see in the top left there, I didn't want to just scroll through all these pictures, so you can see it all in one shot. I mean, it is what it is. Optimus Prime, Bumblebee, Megatron, Optimus Prime alt mode, Bumblebee alt mode, Megatron alt mode, Megatron alt... Oh, that's not Megatron's alt mode. He's a gun. Soundwave alt mode, Bumblebee alt mode, Wheeljack alt mode, Golden Bumblebee, probably a chase or something like that. Anyhow, this is a thing. If you're into it, I'm not into blind box. I do not like blind box, but it is what it is. These will be restricted from posting pre-orders until July 15th on websites. Sadly, we reach a point in life where life stops giving you things and starts taking it away. G1 artist David has passed away today. Schloffer, I believe is the correct way to say it. Here's the thing. We may not know this guy or have kept up with his whole history or body of work, but we know the back of the packaging and the artwork and this picture very well, and he's responsible for it. Fantastic, and this has impacted all Transformer collectors that have been Transformer G1, collecting G1 since early days of 1984, so it's kind of a sad day, and it's just like I want to say thanks for the great art, man. All right, so NECA is really doubling down, tripling down, quadrupling down on their Hawthorne stuff. I want to talk about that real quick. So this one here is Tattoo and Worm, and I don't know who these characters are at the bottom there. Tattoo and Worm, like a big sumo wrestler guy. Saw him in person in a Target this weekend with my son, and neither one of us knew what they were, but thought they looked cool. Very tempting, but I think it's like $60 for a 2-pack. Don't think I'm in on it for that, and I'm turtled out. I did get the Panda the week before, and then this is, it's like Old Man, is it Raphael? Old Man Raphael from Mirage Comics, which, of course, I didn't keep up with Mirage Comics, so I don't know. I don't know, but you can get this at Haulathon. If you want to jump over to a Target or something and check it out and try to find it, good luck. You won't need luck. They're plentiful. Hiya Toys is going to be making Rocky. They've secured the license, and the cool thing about this is that they've done this with Rambo, and since they've already got Stallone likeness going on with Rambo, then I think they're not going to be working so much on the 4-inch scale, but more on the 6-inch scale. They don't do 7-inch, though. So they're doing 6-inch. Now, 7-inch, they will be smaller than a lot of these kind of boutique-style figures. And NECA, Super 7, a lot of them, the MOTU Classics, all that kind of stuff. And even what they're doing right now with Master of the Universe through Mattel, 7-inch scale. These will probably be the 6-inch scale. Still doesn't bother me because it's kind of its own thing. And I've got some of the vintage figures. I forgot what company made those. But I'd be interested in looking at it, taking a look at it. And I would definitely try to get them from Gundam. And that'd probably be the best way for me to get my hands on them. But or maybe you too, because this will be interesting to see how deep they go with it. Because I know Hiya, although they don't release a lot of stuff fast, they do put out a lot of stuff for their properties, including G.I. Joe right now. They've got a lot of stuff going on with that. And with this, I can see them putting out at least a good 5 or 6 good characters. Speaking of licenses, in a new press release, Hasbro Disney Consumer Products have announced a multi-year extension for both Marvel and Star Wars. Suckers! Hasbro, you're a sucker. Suckers! This will see continuation of their action figure lines such as Marvel Legends, Star Wars, the Black Series, Vintage Collection, and more. Also included are Kid Toys collectibles license for Marvel to appear in Magic the Gathering. Additional terms and length of the deal are not mentioned. You can see the full press release where the press release is. I thought they were going to dump both of them. I thought they was like going to back it off. I don't understand why they keep... I mean, is it still that profitable? I mean, I don't see Star Wars being as profitable as it used to be. And Marvel, what else? What more can they do, really? But, hey, it is what it is. We'll get a little bit more to Star Wars. I got some stuff to talk about. All right, so the Hurricane Hordak Mattel Creations exclusive pre-order came for $25 and never went. It's still there. I think I'm in the point where I am not going to be crushed if I miss this figure. And I'm going to wait till there's 2, maybe 3 figures I want till I ship them. And then if they sell out, I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to throw a fit or a tantrum. But I'm going to wait and order 3 at the same time. Seems like there's plenty of stock. Seems like you can go back like 4 or 5 of these now. And they're still there, which is a good thing. So save the dollars, $7 each time in shipping. And then just do one $7 shipping for 3. And that's how I'm going to start doing it from now on. And I'm going to feel better about myself. And hopefully by the time I get to the third one, the first one is on sale for $16 or something. So that's going to work out too. I'll order a second one if that happens. But yeah, I mean, that's where I'm at with it. It didn't sell out. It wasn't a frenzy. Nobody's really freaking out about this stuff right now. But I will say it looks like a really cool figure for your 4th version of Hordak. All right, so this week at Target seems to be the center of the world. Target, and then there's a center, and there's a dot in the middle of Target in the center of the world. Super 7, New Deluxe Thundercats and Godzilla at Target. Now, I want to say this. I didn't mention my experience with Haulathon. I didn't have any trouble finding Shredder. I didn't have any trouble finding the superpower stuff from McFarlane, which I guess I should have talked about McFarlane a little bit more. I didn't have any trouble finding most of the things that were coming up for Haulathon. In fact, I found stuff a week or 2 early in the stores, and I do understand like there is a bit of a disconnect between timing and all this stuff, and then the vendors that put it out just want to stock the shelves, and I get that. But I did get my Tigra in the mail, but I haven't seen it at the store yet, and I haven't seen Chitara up for pre-order yet. She might be. I just haven't seen her. And I haven't seen her at the store. I'm not really trying to rush out and get another Chitara, but if I see her at the store, I'll probably pick her up. And I bought one Godzilla. I don't need a bunch more. So one's fine with me. And but they look cool. The Godzilla I bought was 2018 or 2019, somewhere around there. So, I mean, has a lot changed with Super 7's Godzilla since then? Thundercat Ultimates Wave 13 revealed. Now, here's the thing about this. I don't think this was officially revealed. I don't think this was supposed to come out, and that's why the pictures are grainy. They don't look sharp. They don't look great. But I also think Brian Flynn's a little on the tricky side here. He acts like something leaks and he didn't know it leaked when he wanted it intentionally to leak. That's my belief. I'm just making it up right there. I don't have facts on that. But this is King Lino, Dark Magician, and Red Eye. I don't know much about Dark Magician, but I don't also know much about King Lino. I do know there's a lot more characters that we should probably be tackling this late in the game. But for whatever reason, he wants yet another Lino out. He wants one hanging. He wants at least two hanging on every target. And then he wants this King Lino. I do think it looks interesting. I just don't remember the episode, so I need to look that up. Figure that out. Maybe somebody could school me on this. I like Thundercats. I'm just not an expert. I'm not an expert at Transformers either, right? So, there it is. Dark Magician. Looks cool. Cool looking figure. I like him. I dig him. Still, I don't remember him from the episode. I don't know the episode. And I actually have all the DVDs. I've got most of the... I think I have the whole series on digital format, too. But still, I haven't watched it all 100%. And this guy looks cool. Now, I do know about Red Eye. Red Eye's got a deeper story than just he's in the show and he's one of the Lunatics. The thing is that he was supposed to be he's a toy that they never made. He's an unproduced toy. We should have gotten him, but they never made him. And so that's pretty cool. Is he a Lunatic? Whenever I see him, I think he's a Lunatic. But anyway, he's coming. He's cool. It's fun. Is it a good wave? I'd say it's an okay wave if it's all true. This might also be a prank. But Red Eye makes sense. Next up, we got Sesame Street, and this is Super 7 Reaction. $20 for the smaller figures. It is what it is. And we've got these characters coming. This is Cookie Monster, Elmo, Alligator King, and Roosevelt Franklin. So I'm not really sure what Brian's doing with these. These are, what call it, misfits. They're just characters on little tricycles. This is the internal wind-up mechanism drives a tricycle and rings the bell. Just so wind it up, let them rip, take a ride down memory lane. 5.5 inches. I guess this might have been a thing that was made back in the day, and now he's bringing it back. I don't know. I don't remember this kind of wind-up toy inspired by the vintage plastic and tin wind-up toys. There's got to be a market for this, but definitely I'm not into this. But this is something he's really trying to push. He's got a whole bunch of them coming out. And Brian's put his statement out for, well, the team at Super 7 put their statement out about tariffs. And I'll just sum it up. They say they're going to add an 8% surcharge. Now, on April 24th, I saw this. And on April 24th, I still have stuff in my cart I haven't bought yet. Because they do charge shipping. So I'm like, oh, I'll get it all at once. And you'll see that something else pops up before I buy it. And nothing was being added to mine. So I clicked checkout like I was going to check out. Nothing in my cart was added to it at that point in time. So I do believe that if it's stuff they already had, they're not adding it. It's stuff that's coming in that's going to get it added. That's my belief. But again, I don't know till I ship my order. That might be a bit. All right. Now I'm going to need to cite a couple of people. First off, Road Pig John is a big contributor to the channel. He's always commenting on videos. Really awesome. And then he re-uploaded just like 2 minutes talking about G.I. Joe Ultimates with Brian. There's been a big question. This is like 2 months old, maybe close to 3 months old. This was originally uploaded by Geek Men, Masters of the Thunder Nerds channel. And with that, I'm going to try to throw the clip in here. I'm going to summarize what I got from it, and then you can hear it for yourself. Basically, it sounds like Brian has 2 more figures planned. Hopefully not repaints. Hopefully new characters or something along those lines. I'm guessing a Snake Eyes. I'm guessing something else that would be worthwhile, not just repaints. But a Snake Eyes repaint would be a worthwhile repaint, into his traditional colors of the black costume and all that. But then he also talks about classified. So let's get into this. Classified is a big hurdle to overcome. He thinks people are jumping ship from him to do classified because there's more classified. But let's get into this.
How about let's talk about G.I. Joe Ultimates. Are we going to have another wave of G.I. Joe Ultimates, or
there's a couple figures that are coming out.
Okay.
They will be a little later this year, summertime-ish.
Yeah, because you talked about staggering them with Thundercats.
Yeah, I mean, well, Silverhawks and Thundercats.
Yeah,
staggered.
Right, yeah, sorry.
G.I. Joe's slightly different audience. There's 2 more coming out. I will say that it, as a line as a whole, it's done okay. It hasn't done great. It started off really strong, but I think it just, not to sound defensive or anything, but I think really it just came back down to the fact that classified is so successful. And if you're into classified, there's so much product coming out with regularity that collecting 2 different lines at that scale, I think, is just unfinancially feasible.
So let me know what you think about the whole G.I. Joe Ultimates thing with Super 7, especially if you're in on it. And I just like to hear what you're thinking on that front. Now let's get into Star Wars news here. Now this is what really kind of gets me, is that the Range Trooper I found, I think, $5 on clearance at Walmart a while back. Bet you can still get one pretty cheap online. $25 Target. But then the Stormtrooper Jetta Patrol, which I've seen this get up of a Stormtrooper quite a bit, but this one's $35. It makes no sense to me. I don't know. Is that a mispricing? $35 on pre-order. Guess what? None of these are sold out. I'm not shocked. I'm not pre-ordering them. I'm not ordering them. I don't need them. I have them. But, I mean, maybe I don't have all the accessories with the Jetta Patrol guy, but, I don't get it why this is even a consideration to be put out right now. Speaking of Target, I just bought all that stuff I said I got from Holothon, and I did get the 6-inch Superpower stuff at Target. I had a 20 off of 120, and I mean, it really knocked down that and the red card and all the savings. Really knocked that purchase down. I really like Target's deals. So we got this Disney shop of Attack of the Clones, Revenge of the Sith Retro Collection, and it's $20 off if you get it at the Disney store. And I don't know, it's tempting. I like it. I don't think it's a bad set. I just wasn't overly joyed for it, but I'm not against it. I kind of like the fact that they didn't flood the market with so many characters of this and just put it in one set like this. Get it or don't, or wait and get it for $40. Just like, I think, was there an Acolyte one out or something like that? I didn't get that. I need the one that's got Ponda Baba and all of them, so if you guys see that pop up anywhere, I need to get 2. I'm going to order 2, one for myself, one for a buddy of mine. All right, here's my thoughts on Andor. I've got to say that it was a surreal type of experience. It almost transcends consciousness. And snore! No, it is very slow-paced. Here's what people that don't like Andor don't like about it. The fact that it really needs to be... Star Wars is best consumed in a movie. An hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes, in and out, enjoy it, rewatch it again down the road. When you stretch it to 8 hours, you fill it with a whole bunch of really slow-going dialogue, moving the story along extremely slow. Some people like that. Some people like moving an hour and a half story along, but making it take 8 hours and having a lot more dialogue and detail in between as a good thing. I myself would have rather had this as hour and a half movies hits and move on. And so that's just kind of the style there. Now, I'm watching it as I do other things, and it's okay. It's not something I'll ever watch again, though. So I rate everything on how much I like it based on will I watch it again. There's always things in every Star Wars show, I find things I like about them. But again, I won't be watching it again, but I'm curious to see what happens as it goes on. So let me know what you think about this week's weekly news and review. Was it a king size news week? Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Like, subscribe. Titanium Hanger out.
A lot of people, and they're doing a great line with the classified line. That's a wonderful line for that look in sort of a modern GI Joe. But I think what we really started to run into was just, I can't buy both of these. Plus the accessibility of being able to walk into Target or Walmart and pick classified up off the shelf is a real boost to any line. So we've got 2 more coming out soon, and then we'll just sort of see how it goes. There's a lot of stuff I want to make in that line. I think there's a lot of stuff that we haven't even scratched the surface for that line, but it's a very hit and miss for us with what resonates and what doesn't resonate. And I think it's really just down to the fact that it's just the market's not big enough for 2 7-inch lines of GI Joe right now.
Yeah, that's definitely fair.
So we got a couple more coming. We'll see. I don't know. Look, there's nothing I would love more than to be making more of them.